Taxi! I never could do that.
It's easy.
The Independent Woman's Breakfast at Tiffany's, An Equipment for Living and the Desire for Independence by Maggie Pendergrass, Queen's University, Com 601, final paper. This essay is observing the 1961 film Breakfast at Tiffany's for women in the 21st century as an equipment for living for the balance between desiring independence and self-reliance, and a true, lasting romantic relationship. As the rise of technology and female empowerment emerged from the 20th and into the 21st century, popular culture has spotlighted different ways women have grown into their own identities in both society and their portrayals in film. However, as the culture surrounding these characters changed, the balance between the female desire for connection pushes back on the desire for self-reliance. A classic portrayal of the independent and dominant female archetype was in the film adaptation of Truman Capote's novella Breakfast at Tiffany's, starring Audrey Hepburn. The classic representation of an independent soul who finds love in the midst of making a life for herself, by herself, is a narrative not uncommon to most modern women. This film, as do many others, provides a perspective of both personal independence and desire for intimacy that women often have to balance. Within the context of Burke's Equipment for Living, he emphasizes the potential for culture to impact an audience's life and their perspective in the world. Brummett also emphasizes these cultural art forms by saying, stories do not merely pose problems, they suggest ways and means to resolve problems insofar as they follow discursively a pattern that people might follow in reality, end quote. Although she interacts predominantly with men throughout the film, the protagonist Holly Golightly does not allow herself to be controlled by them. The film itself holds a narrative that continues to resonate with varying generations of women, the balance of desiring romantic relationships without loss of independence. These narratives operate within clear parameters, whether it be by genre, theme, or plotline. Although the audience may exist in a different setting or time, the interactions are familiar, providing a point of reliability between the audience and the narrative. Adam believes that, quote, whether or not we live within the stories or ontologically exist, narratively, each perspective provides different ways of understanding story and experience, end quote. I began the study by determining 3 specific demographics of women representing 3 different stages of life: teenage, young adult, and middle-aged women. These women would be chosen both by their marital status, half single and married, and age, between the ages of 14 and 75. Each group would have a total of approximately 8 women per demographic, with a total of 24 women. This provides a wide range of both experience and ideology to discuss the film and how it affects their perspective. I invited the women to an initial 1-hour focus group to discuss their experiences with the relationships and their feelings on independence in this stage of their life. During the discussions within the age groups, it was brought up in each that they identified at some level with Holly Golightly's story, fitting in line with the concept that the film resonates with women's desire for balance. In the teenage group, the young women used words such as confident, resilient, and ambitious to describe the characteristics they admired in her. They also discussed their understanding in how Holly and Paul's relationship began as friendship, and that they were interested and surprised in a woman's reliance on a man during that time period. In the young adults, we saw the discussion of mostly reliability, most likely attributed to the fact that Holly was around this age within the context of the film. All of the women agreed at feeling somewhat unbalanced relationally at some point in their young adulthood and having to sacrifice their desires for the desires of another. Finally, in the middle-aged women's group, we found that most of these women had accomplished this balance through experience. In reviewing these works and the research completed, we can understand that a contextual knowledge of surrounding a narrative is just as important as the point of reliability within the audience experience of the narrative. Although Adams, Turpin, and Young have supported various points related to the morality of these narratives as they relate to their audience, the intent to understand a deeper connection with Breakfast at Tiffany's, both through the self-balance of self-sufficiency and desire for meaning relationships, is one that the audience seems to relate to the most. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. Leave a comment down below, hit subscribe, or hit the like button to let me know what you thought of today's video. You can also connect with me on any of my social media platforms found in the description below, or visit my website, maggiependergrass.com. Have a wonderful day and keep on creating.